Maybe it still is. Hold on. Okay, I think it's going to do it here.
Okay.
So, welcome to anyone that's on Facebook and or YouTube.
Yeah, welcome.
My name is Greg Jameson. With me today here is Jenna. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Jenna. I'm from Turnkey Product Management. I am the Client Services Director. We are a group of Amazon experts looking to help brands grow. So that's a little bit about us.
Awesome. So Jenna and I got connected through the White Label Expo in Las Vegas last spring, and it seemed relevant that since they were Amazon experts and we were talking to people about having their own stores, that maybe we could do some kind of a collaboration. And today is the first part of that, where we are putting together a presentation about fourth quarter strategies and ways that you can really ramp up your sales during the holiday season, whether it be on your own store or on Amazon. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'll do about 20 minutes worth of presentation, then I'll turn it over to Jenna and let her do about 20 minutes worth of presentation. That work for you, Jenna?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So let's fire up the slideshow here. And share my screen. All right, so a little bit about me for anyone that doesn't know me that might be watching this. As I said, my name's Greg Jameson, and I have been in the e-commerce space basically since the very start of the internet. During this time, I have created literally hundreds and hundreds of websites that help people to sell online. As you can see from the slide, I've won a number of awards during this time as well. As I said, today we're actually going to be talking about fourth quarter strategies, and this is really important for anybody that's selling online, because this is basically 1/4 of the year, and it's a fairly small window that is your opportunity to really make or break your year. So you don't want to put this off. You don't want to wait until Thanksgiving Day and go, oh, it's happening from Thanksgiving to Christmas. You really need to start putting these things into effect right now. So on paper, this year's holiday sales appears to be really healthy, with forecasts showing growth as much as 7.5% over last year. The problem is that there's also a lot of inflation that's happened this year. You can see from this graph, annual inflation rate of 7.9%. And when you adjust that number for inflation, growth is really somewhere between 1% and 3%, which is actually below the 10-year average. And for many people, inflation is really the biggest factor facing retail right now. The second biggest factor, or second biggest challenge, is the supply chain issues. So you want to make sure that you check your inventory and that you can handle the influx of orders that you're hopefully going to be getting during the holiday season here. So I've got 3 different tips here today, and I'm going to kind of go through these in some detail here. The first is to pay attention to your calendar. The second is plan and prepare. And the third is to consider selling on multiple channels. So as it relates to your calendar, you want to really know what your key dates are and pay attention to those. traditionally, we kind of think of the holiday season starting with Halloween. Amazon actually is having a second Prime Day event this year. It's coming up on October 11th. And because of that, and because of a number of other factors, the holiday shopping season is really starting early this year. So again, you need to be ready for it. Take a look at the various other dates that are up there, and the spending by dates. The biggest spending day of the year online is Cyber Monday. You can see on this graph right here to how much money was spent last year on Cyber Monday. Now, the second biggest day, as it turns out, is the day after Cyber Monday, that following Tuesday. And then the third is Black Friday. So kind of that group of days starting the day after Thanksgiving and going through the Tuesday after Cyber Monday is typically known as the Cyber Five. And starting on Cyber Monday and going through that week is known as Cyber Week. And so all of those days are days that you really have a chance to make a lot of money with your online store. So plan and prepare. What I've done here is actually put together a series of things that you can do with your own online store. They may or may not apply to a shop on Amazon. I'll let Jenna talk about that here in a moment. But the first thing that you want to do is to consider the lifetime value of a customer. You know, most people that have an online store and they're looking at their holiday sales, they're worrying about how much profit they can make during Cyber Week rather than looking at the long-term picture. And this is really an opportunity for you to entice first-time buyers where you can position your store to a brand new audience and basically build market share where you can sell to those people throughout the next year and going forward. One of the ways that you can do this is to add a plugin to your shopping cart site that lets a customer basically save their cart so that they can come back and purchase later. This is a great way if somebody's just doing some shopping and they want to be able to come back and purchase items in their cart maybe in a few days. Amazon, of course, does this automatically. So if you are selling on Amazon, you don't have to worry about that. If you are selling on your own WooCommerce store, there's a plugin that you can use called WPC Save for Later. Another thing that I recommend that you do on your website is put right on your website the date of when a customer needs to order a product by in order to get it before the holidays. You may want to expand that a little bit further by putting a plugin on there that is the order delivery date. And basically what this does, as you can see with the little calendar over here, is that the customer can specify what day they want and time they want to have things ordered or have their order delivered so that they can make sure that they're home if it's a surprise gift for someone, as an example. Show a countdown for any sales that you've got, both a countdown leading up to the sale and then when the sale is going on, a countdown for how much longer the sale is going to last. There's a good plugin for WooCommerce called Sales Countdown Timer, and you can add that to your website. Put in additional payment options that you may not currently have. People still like to pay out of their PayPal balance, not just with credit cards. So if you're not using PayPal, add that. You can add other third-party payment methods as well. One of the ones that I have recently added to my own website is Venmo. So you can let people pay with Venmo, which is a very popular way that a lot of, especially younger people, like to pay for things now. Push both upsells and cross sells. You can add these on the product page. You can also put in an upsell plugin that is what's known as an order bump on the cart page, so that someone will see they're in the process of checking out and they'll see a special offer just available on the cart page. Is a great way to bump up your sales. Display scarcity messaging. This is like, hey, Amazon does a great job of doing this all the time. You know, hey, there's only 5 of these left, so you better hurry up and order. You can do this through a plugin called Hurry Timer, which is basically an urgency type of thing where you can say, hey, there's only 1 left, or hey, there's only 2 hours left on this special pricing or whatever. Your return policy is something that you probably want to review for your holiday sales. And I would say make this actually something that is really easily available for people to see. You may want to put a link right on every product page by sticking it next to the add to cart button so that they can see how easy it's going to be to do business with you. You might want to put a tab on the product page. You can do this with Booster for Woocommerce, and you can see that in this case here, I've just added a tab that says returns so that people can easily see it. Add chat to your website if you're not already using this. This can be a chat bot. You can also put in real-time chat, and both of these may really help someone who is on the fence about buying products. There is a plugin called Chatbot e-commerce that you can add to your WooCommerce site. This will basically let you have an automated chat bot in there, and then if somebody has additional questions, they can click on that they want to talk to a real person. It will notify you, and you can get on the line with them. Wish list capabilities. Obviously, a lot of these things are, if you're selling on Amazon, they're built into Amazon already, but these are things that you may need to add to your website if you're running a standalone website. And this is a great way to let friends and family know what you would like for your Christmas gifts. There's a plugin called Yith WooCommerce Wish List that will do this for you. And because of supply chain issues, as well as sometimes people just not knowing what to get somebody, gift cards are a fantastic thing to have on your website. This is something that you probably want to have on there all year round, but you can use a plugin called PW WooCommerce gift cards, and this works really well. Basically, it works just like cash. When they get to the checkout page, someone can enter in their gift card number, and it will show what the balance is on there. You can utilize any portion of that balance towards a future purchase. You probably also want to offer financing options for more expensive products. This basically helps customers to make payments over time. There are a number of different plugins that will do this. Deposits and partial payments for WooCommerce is one such option. And this is something that I really recommend that you do when you have your own store, and that is to give your website a holiday look. You're going to want to plan for these things ahead of time, whether you are doing paid ads, whether you're doing social media posts, whether you're doing emails, you're going to want to create some graphics and basically utilize that same graphic in your promotion materials as on your website. So create a new header for your website, for example. You can go to a site like Pixabay or Pexels and grab some standard holiday graphic, put your logo and text on it to create these kinds of graphics. And that's something that you will really want to do here in the next couple of weeks so that you have all of those things ready to go, starting with your promotions and starting obviously with Black Friday. Another thing that you may want to do is to offer gift wrapping services during this time of the year. This can be a great way for people to actually want to buy products from you. If you have a Shopify store, there is an app out there called Gift Wrap Plus that will allow you to make that as an add-on to your product. If you've got a Woocommerce store, you can use a plugin called Gift Wrapper. And basically, you can offer as many gift wrap items as you like. This is a great little plugin. And another thing that I recommend that you do is that you actually give your customers presents, give them a gift. This could be a surprise gift. It could be something that you tell them that you're going to give them the gift if they order from you, but your customers like to get gifts too. And so just imagine if they are ordering something for someone else and in the box, they get a t-shirt or whatever that's something that they actually really like, and they actually wear it and promote your store for you. And the final thing that I want to talk about is using multiple channels. So many people out there, they sell on a single channel. They sell on their own store. Hey, I've got a Shopify store. I've got a WooCommerce store. Or they say, you know what, I sell on Etsy or I sell on Amazon. The fact is that when you utilize multiple channels for selling, then your revenue goes up. And that's one of the reasons why we're talking the way that we are today. So with that, I want to turn the presentation over to my co-host, Jenna, and basically take it away, Jenna. It's all yours.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you, Greg. One question I had for you. Would you suggest, I don't even know if this is possible through WooCommerce, but would you suggest Amazon Pay as well for people? Or is that, what are your thoughts on that?
That's actually a great question. And yes, I would. It's
similar to PayPal, right? Essentially,
yeah,
like everything's plugged in.
I recommend that you make it easy for your customer to pay you. And so often people are like, as a store owner, they're like, hey, I want to only accept Visa and MasterCard through the payment processor that I've been comfortable with for the last decade or whatever. The reality is that you want to make it easier on your customer. So yeah, Amazon Pay, if people are comfortable with that, you absolutely should have that as a payment option. Now, you don't want to have so many payment options that people are confused, but I think if you give them your basic credit card processing, you give them PayPal, you give them Amazon Pay, you give them Venmo, you might even give them another one. But, if you've got more than 5 or 6 different ones, people are just going to get confused. But you want to make it easy on the customer. So absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if there's any stats behind what the secret mixture is in terms of like the payment options. Because I know I'm a big shopper. I shop on Amazon. I shop everywhere. And one thing I find is they all have different options. So it's just interesting that there isn't a ton of consistency on payment types. So I wonder if there is any stats out there to say, well, if you have this mixture, this is the most consistent mixture, this is the most used. It would just be interesting. But yeah, I just thought I'd ask because Amazon Pay is obviously something that, a lot of Amazon people within Amazon talk to our team about. So I was just curious, but yeah, that's awesome. And, like you mentioned, it is important, obviously, to remember your other platforms as well, not only relying on your store, but also those other platforms that you're a part of. So today I'm going to discuss Amazon specifically and what Q4 looks like on that platform. So here are just some important dates to keep in mind. I know Greg already touched on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but the big one that I want to talk to you guys about is the inbound inventory date, specifically for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So obviously a big part of selling on Amazon is using their fulfillment network, right? Because when you put your products into Amazon's FBA warehouses, that is what gets you the Prime badge, and that can drastically change your conversion rate on your listing. So it's super important to make sure you're FBA eligible during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So in order to do that, you do have to ship your products in by October 21st. So that's roughly 3 weeks away here, or 2 weeks away. So it is something that you want to be prepping for now. Now, a lot of people will ask, how do I forecast inventory? How do I come up with that number? Because it is a bit challenging, knowing what to send in. So in our experience, generally speaking, on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and just the holidays in general, we're going to see brands have between a 10 to 20% increase in their sales. Now, this isn't consistent, obviously, like not everyone's going to see those exact numbers. Some might see 50% increase, while others maybe see a little bit less. The reason why it's so inconsistent is because, generally speaking, Black Friday and Cyber Monday is usually centered around specific types of products, right? Usually you don't think of supplements or vitamins or things like that when you're thinking Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Maybe you think about the new vacuum that everyone's into, or you think about the new hair products or something like that. That would be a good gift. That's generally what people think of when they think Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So because of that, certain niches on Amazon specifically, they'll see a nice big boost, while others will see maybe just a slight boost up. That's why it's just a bit inconsistent and kind of hard to gauge. Now, again, that's the percentages we generally see. But for those of you guys that have been on Amazon for years, you should also just rely on your past Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays. Historically, what do you see? Do you see an increase of 10%? Do you see an increase of 50%? You should be using your own data as really the big determining factor. So that would be my recommendation. And then just as a consistent rule, with Amazon specifically, is you want to make sure you don't exceed 90 days worth of inventory. It's super, super important to keep it within the 1 day to 90 day range, because that's what makes your inventory healthy in Amazon's eyes. So that's the boring stuff. That's the inventory. Let's go ahead and talk about the fun stuff. How do we get the sales? How do we drive that traffic? So with Amazon's current algorithm, external reach is key. What we've seen in the past 2 years or so is Amazon really trying to influence their brands to send external traffic. You've seen the launch of Amazon Attribution, which is the tool that you can use to track external traffic. You can see the clicks, you can see detailed page views, you can see purchases. They went ahead and rolled that out. You've seen that Amazon has really extended out their Amazon affiliate program, making it easier for influencers to link products to Amazon and get paid directly from Amazon, not from the brands. So you can really tell that Amazon is investing in brands sending their traffic over to Amazon, which is something that's relatively new. And it's really important to make sure that you are participating in that, because if you're not, your competitors certainly are. Okay. So in terms of the tactics our team would recommend, it's kind of a variety. And one thing I'll say is you don't have to do every single one of these things. It's kind of like the payment methods that Greg and I were talking about. You don't have to do every single one, but it is important to make sure you are providing a variety. And the reason being is if you have a variety of external sources, you're going to reach new audiences, right? That's the key here. So, one thing I always recommend is an email blast. So some people, they might not have an email list. Maybe you have one that's smaller, maybe it's like 500 people, but that's 500 people that wouldn't know that you're having a early prime fall event deal, which is the October 11th opportunity that's come up that Greg was talking about. So, maybe they don't know about the Prime Fall event, or, maybe they forgot it's Black Friday. Maybe they were just so excited about Thanksgiving, they forgot about Black Friday. So having that email blast, letting people know that you are having a deal and an opportunity is super important. So I would recommend an email blast. And when you are linking within that email blast, you want to link with Amazon attribution, which is what I was talking about earlier in this slide. Again, Amazon attribution is how you can track the success. So essentially what I would recommend is each email you send out should have its own Amazon attribution link. So that way you can see, okay, which one was successful, which one wasn't. And then from there, you need to apply that to the month of December, which is also important to send out email blasts, especially the week leading up to Christmas, where most likely Amazon can meet different shipping times that perhaps you can't from your warehouses, right? So that's why it's super important to create those tracking links within your email blast, because realistically, that is how you'll make the decision on these strategies in the future. Now, the second thing is influencers. So like I mentioned, Amazon has really extended its Amazon affiliate links. Big influencers, they have what they call their own Amazon store where they link products within it. And when people purchase from those Amazon stores, Amazon does pay those influencers a percentage of the sale. Now, the percentages of sales do vary based on the different categories. I believe the floor is 4%, and I think it can go as high as 10%. But what's great about that is the brand, you guys out there, you're not the ones paying these influencers this kickback. It's Amazon that's doing it. And they're the ones that are tracking it and controlling it. So it's a lot more off of your plate. So for those of you guys that have influencers, I highly recommend getting them involved with the Prime Fall event that is next Tuesday. So we got to get going on that if we're going to do that. So getting them involved with the Prime Fall event, also called the Prime Early Access Sale. They've got like 2 names going on, so that's why I keep switching. So I do apologize. There's 2 names. Also Prime Day number 2, so we can even say 3 names, but that's what I mean by the Prime Fall event. So the influencers, you can get them involved into Prime Day number 2. If that's a little too quick, I get that. So you get them involved also with Black Friday. And what I would basically do is pay them to post content for you guys, specifically the day before Black Friday, potentially the day before Thanksgiving, just to kind of see where the content is laying in terms of obviously it being a holiday, things are a bit funky. So just kind of seeing where things lay. You can also have them post on Black Friday specifically. That just might be an additional fee that you want to go ahead and talk to them about. Now, what I would recommend doing is having them use their Amazon storefront to link to your products. So that way you can tell them, hey, you're going to also get a kickback from Amazon. So yes, I'm going to pay you X amount for this post, but Amazon's also going to give you a kickback as well. So that's what I would recommend for that interaction. And what's also great about them linking you in your storefront is a lot of the times influencers will leave you in that storefront. So consistently, you're just going to have another place where your product is showing up, which is always super helpful, obviously. Now, for those of you guys that have the ability to do external ads, so what I mean by that, generally speaking, is Facebook ads and Google ads, highly recommend participating in that for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Obviously, things are very competitive during that weekend, but it is important to get yourself out there in front of your customers. So I would suggest running those Facebook or Google ads. Now, another thing I always recommend doing is social media posts. So what I mean by that is posting Instagram Reels, Instagram posts, posting on TikTok. You can do Instagram story. I always recommend doing this. A lot of people are like, why? What's the point? Organic doesn't have as much reach as paid. The reality is, though, if you can just keep putting yourself out there and get in front of even more people, that's what's going to drive the sales, right? So that's what I mean by it's okay if you don't have influencers, but you're able to do the email blast, Facebook ads, and social media posts. That's awesome. You don't have to check every single one of these boxes. You need to do what makes the most sense for you. So again, I do recommend those organic posts, even though I know historically they don't have as much reach, but they are important nonetheless. And then, I mean, just something to also leave you guys with before I change slides here is just use anything you guys have at your disposal. So I have some clients that they send out physical mailers, like postcards in the mail. So whatever works for you guys, even if it's not listed here, you guys should be doing it for Black Friday and Cyber Monday specifically. And then also the holiday lead up is what they consider it on Amazon, where it's the countdown to Christmas. So you should be participating in that. You should be trying to get yourself out there, sending that traffic to Amazon, using Amazon attribution, because also if you use Amazon attribution, you get what we call a brand referral bonus, where Amazon will send you a percentage back for sending that traffic. So that's what I would recommend on the external reach. Now, let's talk about on Amazon tactics. So on Amazon, I do recommend running a promotion. For the brands that are involved with Amazon reps, I know this because I have multiple brands that have an Amazon rep. They pretty much require a 20% off for products if you're ever going to participate in any type of placement or things like that. So consistently, you're going to see 20% off or higher. So I would recommend, if it's within your margins, to be meeting that, because that is pretty much the baseline, the common price you're going to see. So to make that happen, obviously there is a lot of promotion types on Amazon, and I definitely want to weigh in here and give you guys the best advice I can. So one that always kind of comes up is lightning deals and 7-day deals. So unfortunately, the time has passed to book them for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But honestly, in my personal opinion, that is okay. The thing with lightning deals, obviously, is they are only a 12-hour window. So if you run a Black Friday lightning deal, you only get that for 12 hours, right? In the whole day, which is kind of a bummer. And then on top of that, that lightning deal has the power to determine your price point for the rest of Cyber Weekend. Because in theory, with Amazon, in order to run a Prime exclusive discount specifically, you must beat the cheapest price you've given in the last 30 days. So running a lightning deal and things like that can kind of mess with your price points. So that's why if you missed the boat on the Black Friday or Cyber Monday lightning deals, I would not be worried. There are so many different opportunities out there for you. Now, when do you use lightning deals, 7-day deals? So my recommendation is to use lightning deals and 7-day deals in the month of December. These are really, really great promotions that almost give a buy now approach during a regular day in the month of December. Because realistically, the whole month of December, there's a ton of traffic on Amazon, right? There is much more traffic there than any other month. So that is why it is important to be running these lightning deals and 7-day deals if you have them as an option, because obviously you're going to attract more from customers if you have that deal running. Now, what's also great about lightning deals and 7-day deals is these are limited. So your competitors might not have this option, but you do. And right there, that's a leg up on the competition. So I would recommend lightning deals and 7-day deals for the month of December. In my opinion, stay away from them for Black Friday and Cyber Monday because we do have better options. Now, the next is coupon clippings. So you guys are able to already set these up in Seller Central. If you haven't already, you would just set them up from Black Friday all the way to Cyber Monday. I also have some clients that started on Thanksgiving and run it through Cyber Monday as well. It's really your decision. Now, coupon clippings are obviously great because in the search results, there's going to be a green box that lets the customer know that there is a percentage off the product, which is awesome. It looks really great and it makes it stand out, and it's known to increase conversions. So I do recommend coupon clippings. I do think they are awesome and something that you can utilize throughout the entire Q4 holiday season. For those of you guys that are looking for promotions to run, specifically for the Prime Fall event, that again is coming up on October 11th, this would be a really great promotion to run in setting up coupon clippings. And again, if you have it within your margins, 20% off is a really great baseline. Now, the next promotion would be the Prime exclusive discounts. Now, this is the one I would recommend running. So there's a few reasons why. So for the Prime exclusive discounts, specifically, if you set them up now, you might still be able to make it. I don't know if they have closed the entries,
But specifically for the Prime Fall event that is next Tuesday, if you go instead of a Prime exclusive discount, you click the box that says, is this a Prime Fall event? If you click that, what's cool about it is it's going to give a strike through pricing when it presents on the actual day. And then on top of that, there's going to be a little box that says Prime Early Access Sale or Prime Fall Event. I don't know which name Amazon's going to pick on that day, but it's going to have a special box. And in our experience, these promotions do the best because they've got that strike through and the box. So that's why they kind of one up coupon clippings and lightning deals, because there's kind of two things that are drawing the customer's attention. So those are Prime exclusive discounts. Now, the Prime exclusive discounts, I would also suggest doing these for Black Friday, Cyber Monday for the exact same reason. Once the Prime Fall event does close, so October 13th is my prediction, we should see Black Friday and Cyber Monday check boxes under Prime exclusive discounts. That's when we should see that. So once we are to that point, I would recommend clicking that box, giving 20% off, because historically, we've done this the last 3 years specifically. I think that's actually as long as Prime exclusive discounts have been around potentially. I would recommend doing these because they just draw the customer in. They're really, really great for conversions. Now, the other option is a promotional code. These do have probably the weakest conversion out of the four. And the reason why is the customer has to take the code from your listing or from an external source, so maybe an email or a Facebook ad or what have you, and plug it into the cart to get the deal. So promotional codes, honestly, the only use I see for them is if you are doing a special offer where maybe email list subscribers get an extra 5% off. So that would mean that maybe you're already running a coupon clipping or a Prime exclusive discount, and then you're giving them a 5% on top of that. That's a reason to do it. Or if you're giving influencer audiences an extra percentage off, that's another reason. But other than that, this should not be the promotion you guys are running. I really want you guys to focus in on lightning deals, coupon clippings, Prime exclusive discounts. Now, obviously, there's more to Amazon than just promotions. So we also want that additional exposure. So what I would suggest is participating in PPC, obviously. This is a given. With PPC, one thing I always stress people about Q4 is don't reinvent the wheel. Whatever is working for you going into Q4, you need to rely on that in Q4 for PPC. Now, the only difference is you're going to have to keep a closer eye on your PPC campaigns. You need to increase those budgets. You need to be watching those campaigns closely, because obviously there's more traffic on Amazon, which means there's more people clicking, which means there's a higher likelihood that your campaign could run out of budget. And the last thing you want is for your campaigns to run out of budget on the middle of the day in Black Friday or in the morning of Cyber Monday. You need to make sure you're staying in budget all day. So that's really the key for PPC, is doing what's been working for you and expanding on it a bit more, obviously, to stay in play. Now, customer engagements is a new one. This is able to be set up under, I believe, brands in Seller Central. And what's cool about this is it's actually an email that goes out to your storefront followers. So you're able to plug in different products, and these customers will receive an email that looks like it's coming from Amazon, pretty much just advertising your product. So that's one specific way to reach. Another is an Amazon post, which I have pictured right here. It looks just like Instagram. And essentially what Amazon has done is that they've created their own little social media platform, I guess is the best way to describe it. So basically what we would recommend is posting for Amazon posts on the Prime Fall event, so October 11th and October 12th. And then you also want to do it on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And then I would do it a ton during the month of December, like probably posting between 3 to 4 times a week, just making sure you're getting this exposure because it's completely free. So really, really important that you're doing it. And this is just a really great example. If you're looking for ideas on Amazon posts, go to your competitors' storefronts, go to their post tab and check out what they're doing. Again, it doesn't have to be this big complex thing. You can also involve holiday imagery in this as well. Just a really great idea to get additional exposure, and it's completely free. Now, another thing you can do is you can add a deals section to your storefront. There is a new, I guess, what you could call a widget or a plugin for your storefront where you're able to put in the deals. You'll go ahead and submit the products that you're going to have deals on. And as those deals run, they will pop up in your storefront. So I would recommend checking that out for those of you guys that plan on running deals during these times. And then from there, you can experiment potentially running sponsored brand ads to that tab that has that deals going on and seeing if that helps drive traffic specifically on those days you're having the deals. And then the last thing I'll say specifically for Amazon is running A/B experiments. So obviously we're at the start of October. Black Friday, Cyber Monday is at the end of November. For those of you guys that are struggling with conversion, you're not doing well with your listings, what I would suggest is looking into A/B experiments now and running experiments on key features of your listing, like the main image, the title, bullet points is now a new one that they're letting you test, and test out to see which A/B, which one is doing the best, because from there, you can really make sure you have the strongest listing going into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So obviously there's a lot that goes into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Q4 just in general. So if you guys do have any questions or anything like that, you can connect with my team. All you have to do is go to turnkeyproductmanagement.com/talk. But yeah, Greg, that's really all I had. And I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jenna. I had a question or more of an observation, I guess, as I was listening to you, is you were talking about promotions. And I think that it's kind of mentioned when I was presenting is that, yeah, you're going to be giving up a lot of promotions during the holiday season. People love to get 20% off or whatever. But the way that you really need to look at this is that you are building your brand for the rest of the year. So you're going to give up a lot, but yeah, hopefully you're going to make it up in volume. But even if you don't, the more important thing is that you're building your brand so that all of these sales techniques that you're using during the Q4, they carry forward into next year, so that come the middle of January, you aren't like, what happened to all my sales?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
There was something else I was going to say, and now I'm can't remember what it was, but I think that, oh, I know what it was. You were talking about people reaching out to you. And I think that this is something that is actually really important. People, we will, for anybody that is watching this, even on Facebook or YouTube, I will put that in the comments afterwards. The information that Jenna just shared with there, and I'll put ours in there as well. Because one of the things I really want to stress, and that I tell people a lot when I'm doing my public speaking anymore, is the story about my neighbor. She was an 18-year-old girl. Actually, she was about 15 when we first met her and started using her as our pet sitter. But she would come over and take care of our cat every time that we had to leave to go on a business trip or a pleasure trip, whatever. And she would come over and take care of the cat for us. And about a year ago now, I guess it's been, I called her up and I was like, hey, Brooke, can you come over and cat sit for us? And she's like, yeah, but when I get there, I really want to talk to you. And I was like, okay, so what's up? And she's like, this is the last time I'm going to be able to cat sit for you. And I was like, well, why? What's going on? And she's like, well, now I'm a TikTok influencer. And I kind of laughed and I was like, okay, that's nice. How many followers do you have? 12 million.
Oh my gosh.
I about fell on the floor, right?
Amazing.
What I should have done, but I was too flabbergasted, I guess, is said, forget about the cat. Come show me what you're doing. I really need to learn from you. I checked up with her recently. She's now got 20 million followers.
Oh my God,
Uh,
crazy.
and she bought a house at now 19 years old. So I let this opportunity slip by me. I guess what I'm recommending is that Jenna's offering something for you here. I'm offering something for you here. Don't let that opportunity slip by you. If you need some help getting ready for a fourth quarter here or whatever, take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
So any final words you want to say as we wrap up here?
No, I'm good. But thank you so much, Greg. That was really great information. And I appreciate you having me on.
You bet. So we'll have to do something again in the future, and
Yeah, absolutely.
sounds good. Take care.
Yep, you too.